Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is very, very sunny here in Michigan, which I'm so grateful for. We've had like the grayest winter. I think that every year, but it's been extremely gray. So the sun is making me very happy. And I'm excited to be here with you guys. I love going live every Wednesday. One thing I always like to start. I do have to leave at a certain time to go get my kids. So if I don't get to every question, I'm sorry. Your best bet is to get here early. So I try to get to every question or comment. If I skip any, again, I'm sorry, it's not intentional. And then I also wanted to share with you guys that there are a few changes that might be coming. I'm not sure 100%, but if I in the future decide to not keep the lives up as a public video, I just don't think it's YouTube serves it very similar to like a weekly video. And I think people that like lives kind of know where to find them. If I ever take it down and you're looking for it, it will still be available. Just this is just so you guys know. And like the weekly live chat playlist, I'll keep them all there unlisted. It just won't be available like searching to the public if you don't know to go look for it. So if you're ever looking in the future for a previous live, I might take them down just because if people don't like lives and it keeps getting served to them, I don't want them to unsubscribe. So I'm just playing around with that. Also, I'm about to get to questions, but today this is very scary to me and it probably doesn't even make sense, but I'm finally sending my email to have people schedule to get on my podcast. I have a lot of people's emails already gathered. And if you have not shared interest, but you're interested in being interviewed, you can email me. And I have a new email actually that I'm going to be using, Jackie@intermittentfastingfoodie.com. Very simple. But I'm going to be sending out my emails to those that have expressed interest. So be looking for that. I'm very excited and I'm very scared because I don't know. It's just new and new things are kind of scary. So, and scared isn't probably the right word, but nervous is probably it. So we're going to get going. But I'm excited. So first is Jenny. She says she loved my recent quick overview video of intermittent fasting. It was spot on. Thank you, Jenny. I'm going to try to have more of those that are a little bit on the discoverable, shareable side. If Jenny, if you have a friend that's interested in fasting, but she doesn't really know where to start, something that's easy to share with her that you don't have to understand everything to get interested or going. So thank you for the feedback. That's really kind of you. Little Miss Liberty asked, first she said, hello from Arizona. Hello. I wish I was in Arizona. How's your daughter's leg healing up? And thinking about her. Hope she's feeling better. First of all, thank you so much for thinking of Elsie. And it's funny, she must have been on your mind for a reason because tomorrow she has follow-up x-rays. Her surgery was mid-November. And so far, everything has been going really well. And I'm excited to see her x-rays tomorrow. And then we send them to her surgeon. He's about 600 miles away. So we won't hear from him until early to mid-February. I mean, I know we're early February right now, but she's doing really well. She's moving good. She doesn't feel anything, like she doesn't have any soreness and no crutches, no more wheelchair, no more walker. So she's doing really good. And I really, really appreciate the question. That's really nice of you. Megan says, hi from Arkansas. Hello. Just wondering, what are your favorite quick snacks to break a fast with? So when I first started, I broke my fast with anything and everything. So if that's where you're at in your journey, not specifically to you, Megan, but don't feel bad that you don't have like protein, because I think you have to work up to trying to be intentional with what you break your fast with. But I've really realized that if I break my fast with protein, I feel a lot better and I'm less likely to eat a bunch of sugar later in my window. It doesn't always happen that way. I'd say half the time I break my fast with dinner, so I don't break it with something special. I just fast until dinner and I feel good doing that. Those tend to be my really short eating window days. And then if I have a snack, my favorites, like 100% my absolute favorite, is cottage cheese with salt and pepper pistachios and pepitas, or even just regular pistachios. That is my favorite. I put a bunch of ground pepper on it, a little bit of salt. If I have salt and pepper pistachios, I don't salt it, but I just love pepper, cottage cheese, pepitas, and pistachios. It is creamy, crunchy. It's seasoned. It's just my absolute favorite. I like cheese sticks. I like cottage cheese and scrambled eggs, but that involves more dishes and time. So it happens way less frequently. Same with, I really like, I had shared a few times. I got it from another YouTube creator, Paige Lindgren is her name. Toast with avocado, cottage cheese, and then red pepper, salt, pepper, and honey drizzled on it. That's really good. But again, I have to have like a ripe avocado and I have to toast it, and it just has more involved. But cottage cheese with pepitas and pistachios is literally my favorite, and it's so easy. Trying to think. Those are the ones that come to mind, and the cottage cheese, I could just eat that every day. It is my favorite. Let's see here. Jennifer says hi from Louisiana. Then Jenny says hi from Wayne, West Virginia. Hello to both of you. Lana, hi from McKinney, Texas. Laura, hi from Burlington, Ontario. Hello, everybody. And Jenny, there are so many Jennifer Jennies. I love it. From New York State. And then Jumi says, first live and first down day. I'm wondering if that's Yumi. Did I say that wrong? I'm sorry if I did. I never try to butcher anyone's name. But congrats on your first down day. I had one 2 days ago, and then yesterday was an up day. But congrats, and I'm glad you're here. Angie says, congrats on taking a step on your podcast. You're going to be great. Thank you for the encouragement. It is just scary. Harold says, hello from Washington. Hi, Harold. Melba Dance Academy. Just curious. First, she says, hi. Let's see. When we are going to hear some results of your continuous glucose monitor. So if there are specific ones you're wondering about, I can kind of let you in if I remembered off the top of my head. But I have been doing a lot of testing again. Most things, I actually have pretty steady continuous glucose. And then my husband got one, so we were testing things together. I just have to, I don't want to mess up what I'm saying about it. That's my biggest nervous point, just to be like completely frank. So I have to make sure like I compile our data, I share it, and I share it like succinctly, but accurately. So it just takes effort, and I don't have an exact timeline of when I'll be sharing everything. But if there's something in particular, I've been sharing like little bits here and there and trying to add them to that playlist. Let me know and I'll bump it to the top of the list. But I've been doing things like the order I eat food. My husband and I trying different things just to see like individual reactions. I'm going to have like things that surprise me in my reaction, basically bad reactions. But I'll show you one. I know this isn't the one you're looking for, but I could not believe this. So yesterday I had the mango nata. It was absolutely delicious. I didn't even intentionally test it. So here is my glucose yesterday. You can see it was after a down day, so it was really low. Guess what I ate right here? I went from a 73 to a 145. No, not a 145. That wasn't even as high as 165. I have literally never had that big of a jump. I don't think I've ever even gotten to 165, but that was after I had that mango drink. So I had things like that surprised me that I wasn't even necessarily trying to test that I'm going to share results on. But again, if there's something in particular you're interested in, let me know and I will share. But I've had some things that like that, I'm just like, okay, I just know that is not good for me to eat. And then I have things like, what was it? Oh, a Klondike bar. I picked that to test and then try to do glucose hacks on, which I still did. But that really, my body had very little glucose reaction to it, as far as I had very little spikes. I had very little peaks and valleys. My body actually kind of liked it compared to other sweet things. So there's a lot of that. I just have to be able to summarize it accurately and without sounding like an idiot, because glucose is very new to me. And that's why I'm very interested in testing it. I've never really considered it, and it's been a lot of fun, but I just need to make sure I'm doing it right, if that makes sense. So there you go. Long blab. I'm sorry. Some questions I just don't stop on. Tony says, hi there. Finally reading Fast Feast Repeat. Yay. When you eat out like you did in your recent short, was it an up day or did you save all your calories? So the short that I had yesterday was an up day. So I had the day before done. This is going to be a future video like of a down day and an up day all in one vlog style where I share with you what I ate. but then I shared trying that new restaurant. That was part of an update, but I did still have dinner yesterday. So I would still eat what I ate yesterday at the San Francisco. I can't remember the right name of it. But the San Francisco restaurant where I had the tacos and the corn and the mango nata. I would eat that as my OMAD. Not all the time for obvious reasons. And obviously with my continuous glucose, the sugar really spiked me. So I wouldn't do that every day, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't go to a restaurant if it wasn't a down day. I do OMAD for a reason, because I like to try different foods. I like to eat lots of things. And when I restrict the time, that is the restriction I choose. I don't restrict what I eat. Now, because of money, I don't go out to eat all the time. And then also I know it's just not as good for me to do that every day. So I'm not restricting it, but it's also not something I can do all the time, if that makes sense. But yes, what I shared yesterday was part of an update. Whoops, my computer just went on my screen. I'm sorry if that blipped for you. I all of a sudden just worried that my microphone wasn't working. I better check. Oh my gosh. I hope if I go down and I see, okay. It does not say that. Okay. So that is, it was an update, but I would still eat it as my OMAD if I had the opportunity. Darlene says, hi, Jackie. Hi, Darlene. Let's see. Dry Heat Jen. Jackie, where do you usually buy your pepitas and shelled pistachios? I buy pepitas at Aldi, but their bags just went smaller, which was kind of disappointing. And then I also have bought them on Amazon, and I've really liked them, but I can like visualize the bag. I can't remember the brand. I actually buy my pistachios generally in shells. So I buy the unshelled, or I buy the shelled. Wait, if it's shelled, does that mean it's taken out of the shell? Now I'm confusing myself. I buy them without the shell on them at Aldi. I buy with the shell on for salt and pepper. I buy those on Amazon. Let's see. Miggy is praying for Elsie. Thank you so much. All the way from the Netherlands. Love all over the world. I love it. Tony says, because of you and your cottage cheese and pepitas, I started a savory toast with sourdough, cottage cheese, shallots, pepitas, sun-dried tomatoes, squeeze of lemon juice, and chili flakes. Oh my goodness. That sounds amazing. I need to try that. Yeah, I would eat that in a heartbeat. Sounds so good. Thank you for sharing that. Keto Queen says, hi from, you're going to make me say it, Valparaiso, Indiana. Hi from Indiana is what I should have said. Hello. Narissa says, hello from San Diego. Started doing one down day a week to break up a plateau, and it's working in just 2 weeks. I've broken it and down 2 pounds. Yay. I know it made a big difference to me, and I think it's awesome that you tried. Trying different things is really a great recommendation, or a great thing to do. One of my favorite recommendations. D. Seaver says, hi from Madison, Indiana. I almost said Wisconsin. Madison, Wisconsin almost rolled off my tongue, but hello, D. Darlene says, do you think you will have another video with your dad? Also, does your mom fast? My mom does fast, but she does it very, way less rigid than I am. And my dad, she is a moderator in here. So if you're on here, Mom, feel free to kind of write how you do it. I actually don't even really know exactly what she does. She just is very fluid with her opening and eating, or her opening and closing of the window. She doesn't track it at all. But she does, I think, still consider herself a faster. She does, but she's very loose with what she does. As far as like I track and I have my 18-hour minimums, she doesn't do that. My dad, he and I, our schedules are conflicting a little bit. He works a different shift, and my kids are gone during the day, and we're trying to get together. We don't live like close to each other. He lives a few hours away. So seeing each other isn't super regular, but I'm trying to record him on my podcast. So we're trying to do that, but I don't know when we'll do another video. Let's see here, but the podcast will be recorded as a video. So it'll be me and him talking. I'm going to share it both on like a podcast feed and as a video. Let's see. Laura says, mangoes and tropical fruits in general are extremely high in sugar. Yes, I did know that mangoes are one of the like higher sugar, because in the book Glucose Goddess, she shared that, like with pineapple, I think. I just could not. I eat sugar regularly. So when I saw that, and compared it, I thought, I guess I won't be eating one of those in a long time. It was really delicious, but when I see stuff like that, even though I don't clear anything from my diet as like a no, I can't, when I learn about the way my body reacts to things, whether I feel bad, it's very hard for me to want to have about those kind of changes. Let's see here. But yeah, obviously the mango was flaunting its high sugar yesterday, but it was delicious. Susanna says, hi from frozen Austin, Texas. Day 33, 12 pounds down. Yay. Are you guys having like, I'm out up here in my own little frozen tundra. I didn't realize it was freezing in Texas. I need to bust out a bit. I'll have to check in. I have a family friend that lives in Texas. Let's see. Ray says I'm breaking up a bit. I'm sorry. I hope it's better now. You probably sent that a while ago, and I don't know what to say about that. I wouldn't even know how to fix it if there was a way to fix it. Oh, there's my kitty cat. Marla says I always cheat. I'm interested in to know what you mean by that, because maybe you're being really restrictive in your eating window and that's making you feel like you're cheating. That's one of the major reasons I don't have any restrictions in my eating window, is because when I feel like I'm cheating or I feel like something's off limits, I go off the deep end and eventually give up. So I would be curious a little bit more on what you mean by that. Tony says, I definitely have remnants of restriction PTSD. What was your breakthrough to let restriction go completely? I think I experienced freedom, but freaked out afterward and obsessed what it would do to me. Well, I honestly never really had too much. My vacuum just started again. Just a second. That's going to be really loud. I don't know why that started. Give me a minute. That's really weird because nothing's over there. I thought maybe a cat bumped it, but no, it just went on its own. I didn't have a hard time adjusting because I was so sick. I had just come off of like doing diet bet, where you basically bet on yourself to lose weight, and I was calorie restricting, and I was so sick of the restriction that when I started intermittent fasting, I was so sick of restricting and in a phase where I would normally just say screw it and gain weight. So because I was already in that mentality of I can't do restriction anymore, it was really easy for me to not, if that makes sense. And I've always had cycles of not restricting where I would eventually, and actually didn't even take long, gain weight. So I never really had like fear. It was just like, I'll deal with it later. So I never had when I was gaining weight, I never had the fear of what it was going to do to me. I just knew I'd have to deal with it eventually. So I think because I wasn't restricting and I was able to just enjoy my eating window, it was so easy for me to accept that as a new lifestyle. So I don't really have much to say on that. I'm sorry. But I think the more you embrace just allowing yourself to eat what sounds good in your eating window. And again, it doesn't mean that I go get a mango nata every day because it's delicious. I know that that's not good for me, but it's not off limits, so that when I really want it, it's there, and then I can continue on the other days. I think the more you flex that freedom, the more you're going to just be able to rest in, okay, this is something I can do every day, and I can choose to have the treats when it sounds really good or when we go as a family, but you're not going to feel obsessed about it the rest of the time. You just have to kind of get used to that. But I didn't have the same PTSD as you mentioned. So if anyone else in the comments has input, please respond to Tony. Gracia says, hi from Hawaii. Hello. I want to go to Hawaii so bad someday. Love listening to what you have to say. Thank you. I cannot stay, so I'll come back and listen after school. And yes, you are breaking up a lot. Oh, why is that? I wonder if we have internet issues. I'm really sorry. I have no idea how to even make it better. Praying for Elsie. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Melanie says, do you have snacks between your 2 meals on your up day? Yes. That's one of the reasons I don't do longer eating windows, is because I have a hard time not snacking. It's so much better now, 2.5 years in, than it was when I began, but especially chips used to be a big downfall. I can turn them away almost always now. And it's just, again, because of rhythm, because I don't eat them all the time. They just don't sound as good. But I definitely snack more when I have 2 meals a day than what if I have an OMAD. But again, the longer I fast, the better I am about not doing it horribly. But yes, I'm trying to think, what did I snack on? Yesterday I had, so in between eating at the restaurant, and then we had vegetable lo mein for dinner. I had a couple packs of like the little 5 gummy bears, and there was something else I had. Oh, I had a little bag of Dorito poppers, chips. I just love chips. And I had put them in my son's lunch, or excuse me, in his backpack for snack that day. And I thought, I haven't had Cooler Ranch Doritos in probably 6 months, and they just sounded good. And I ate the bag, and actually it wasn't that good. They tasted kind of stale. So I had them. I got them out of my mind. I didn't obsess about them. It was a 90-calorie pack. I looked out of curiosity. I wasn't tracking anything. And I thought, well, I won't need those again because it really wasn't that satisfying. But I do, like, because the time is there and I'm in an eating window, I definitely do snack more. Let's see. Stephanie says, hi, do you do 36 hours a week or do you do OMAD? Thank you. I don't regularly do a 36-hour fast. I do OMAD, I would say on average 5 days a week, and then one down day. And I generally do have a 500-calorie meal. So that breaks up like a longer fast. And then I have an up day on average 5 days a week. So, okay, sorry, I got distracted. So that's what I do. I don't have regularly 36-hour fast because when I do down days, I do tend to have the 500-calorie meal more often than not. But when I don't do a down day and an up day, the other days of the week are OMAD almost exclusively. Dion says, hi, Jackie. Just been watching YouTube video with Tom. I don't know how to say his last name. And Jessie, I definitely don't know how to say her last name. It was really interesting about glucose. Love from Scotland. Well, one, I'm sending love back. And Jessie is the glucose goddess that I just read her book. So I would probably really love that. I actually, after I read her book, I was really surprised she doesn't have a very large YouTube presence. But one of my videos that I'm making about my glucose response is going to be about her glucose hacks because I've been testing all of them. I still have a little bit more to execute, and they work. Bottom line, I'm actually impressed. So, like taking apple cider vinegar right before I eat something, there is a difference when I do the cider vinegar right before I eat it and when I don't. But I definitely really enjoyed reading her book. So I bet that video is good. I'll have to check that out. Thank you for the recommendation. Tony says, I remember you saying you don't do good with a larger eating window of, say, 16-8. Can you share your experience with larger eating windows and how you came to that conclusion? Okay, so pretty much right when I was going to start fasting, my goal was to do 18-6. I never considered 16-8, but 6 seemed like a pretty reasonable window. But it wasn't ever even so much trying that. I just liked eating so much when I opened my eating window, and I liked having a very large meal. That's how I've always liked to eat, whether I was fasting or not. I've always ate very large portions at dinner, lunch, probably not breakfast. I skip breakfast a lot, but I just like to eat in volume more than spread out. So by the time I ate dinner, almost always I was so stuffed once I adjusted that I thought, hey, this is pretty easy to just really enjoy the dinner. And if I have a single meal that I really enjoy every day, I don't need the rest. So I just naturally moved to that. It wasn't so much that it was bad having a long eating window, but when I started doing the down days and the up days, I just kind of going back to the snacking, when I'd eat lunch or I'd eat breakfast on an up day, depending on what my day looks like, and then I'd eat lunch or dinner or all three. It really just depends on the day. I still have the snacking in between all the meals. And so I know, because I like to eat in volume, that if I do that for 6 hours, it's going to be a lot more than if I do it one meal a day. And so it was just kind of like what felt good, what felt comfortable, and just enjoying having a single meal was very satisfactory. I lost the guilt associated, like this is going to sound silly, but one of the like the clicks to me was I make a creamy tomato basil soup. It's homemade. It's delicious. I love it. Well, if I had grilled cheese and 3 bowls of soup of that, that was really satisfactory. But in the past, I'd feel bad if I had, another bowl of soup or put more Parmesan on it. But I thought, hey, when I can really, really enjoy the meal that I made exactly as I want and eat until I'm full and satisfied, that's so much better than a smaller portion of it. I still did the work. I still made the meal. I'd rather really get enjoyment out of that than spread that out and try to find the same amount of joy, if that makes sense. So I never really tried longer eating windows for a long time. I just found a lot of joy. So I know I could do a lot of damage in a regular 6-hour window. So, and it never really came to be. Karina says, what will the name of your podcast be? And what should we expect the first episode? So it's going to be Intermittent Fasting Foodie. And I'm going to write it really quick like this. Show you. So the technical name is Intermittent Fasting Foodies. But I'm making the graphic. Oops. And it's going to have like an apostrophe S, or not an apostrophe, a parentheses S, because I'm going to have it be like conversational. So me and the guests are both foodies, or that's the title. So it's going to be an apostrophe or a parenthesis S, like there's 2 of us to signify that there's multiples, but just to be congruent with the channel, it's going to be Intermittent Fasting Foodie. My goal is that it'll launch in April. I don't even know. I have to do a little research on what the actual like best day to release a podcast is, what would fit well with my schedule. I want it to be, I don't know, what's April 1st? Although you guys would think I'm joking then. I don't know if I'm on a different screen, so I don't know if you can see me now, but April 1st is a Saturday. So somewhere in that first week is my goal. I have to get it like approved through the streaming channels. I have to get edits and all that stuff. So that's the goal. And then I hope that you guys tune in, but it'll be very conversational. And my goal with this, if you're considering wanting to be a guest, I just want to throw this out there. My goal is 1, it's going to be about food freedom more than weight loss. And so I think there's a lot of really good podcasts out that share people's weight loss stories, and it talks partially about food, but I want to talk, I have a whole, kind of like not script, but just a sheet for me to go off of as I'm interviewing, things to consider and give people that I'm interviewing an idea of where we might go with the conversation. So things like, what's your favorite window opener? What do you drink when you're fasting? Do you find foods that have changed, like preferences have changed since you started fasting? What was the meal that made you think, oh my gosh, this could be my lifestyle? Like I have a very vivid memory of going to dinner with my husband for a promotion, and I ate the bread, I had the pasta, we had dessert, I had a martini, the vegetable that came with my meal, and I ate it all and I really enjoyed it. And that was my one meal a day. I opened it at the restaurant, I closed it at the restaurant, and I thought, I didn't have any guilt associated with this. I feel so good. I could do this every day. And obviously not the going out to eat, but just enjoying the eating window and waiting for it and then closing it, being very satisfied. It blew my mind. Like, this is possible. And that was very early on. And so I want to hear your guys' stories. Was there a meal that made you think like, wow, this is actually so enjoyable? So really focusing on the food. So you don't have to have lost 75 pounds. I mean, I never lost 75 pounds to share your story. You don't have to be at your weight goal to share your story. I really want to focus on finding food freedom and finding joy in eating in the intermittent fasting lifestyle, because I think people just don't understand that you're not depriving yourself, or you're not on a life sentence of, I can never enjoy eating again. It's quite the opposite. And that's what I want to focus on. So if this sounds like something you want to be interested, or you're interested in, I plan 1 episode a week if we get enough. Eventually, once I'm more in a rhythm, it'd be awesome if it were 2 a week, but we'll see. So, and also you can follow a certain diet. I want to ask people like, do you do keto? Or I don't want to ask that, but is there a particular diet you follow? Like, it's okay if you follow keto and you want to share that on the podcast. You don't have to be like me and eat everything. So I just want to talk about food and fasting and the joy of the two together. So little pitch for you guys on my vision. Okay. Ray says, close the link and went back in. Much better. Yay. Sorry for whatever issues there were. Your cat is seeking the same here, even in Arizona. Yes. Colt is the son. I share pictures of him because he's the laziest, best cat in the world. Finds the sun. But you're right. I didn't even notice that. It was on the stairs. Let's see. Melina, hi from Cape Town, South Africa. You are a great inspiration. Thank you so much. And I accidentally just skipped Rosalie. Hi, Jackie. Love watching you because you're so real, never change. Oh, thank you so much. It's funny you say that because I had a friend. I posted a picture and I mentioned something like, I hate taking selfies. And I mentioned it. And she's like, oh, if you ever want me to edit it for you, she's a photographer and like amazing at what she does. And I told her, I don't have time to care about filters and edits because I couldn't keep up with it. So you guys get what you get. Like today, I realized as I was about to start, I never straightened my hair like I meant to, and I never put eyeshadow on like I meant to, but well, some days it's like that. So thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the reel because I don't have the effort to share anything else. Let's see. Monica says, my husband just joined me on intermittent fasting. Yay. He did his first clean fast yesterday and was really impressed at how much easier fasting was. Oh, that's so exciting. That is really like, that would make a world of a difference to have a spouse join you. My husband doesn't fast, but a lot of times he skips breakfast and lunch. So he's fasting essentially. And he's very supportive, but I would love if he was a faster with me. Pop-Tart, hi, new here. Do you look at ingredients in food? If not, how do you feel? I don't really. I don't have food sensitivities. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I look at. No, not really. I mean, I try to make a lot of things homemade. So like we're having mashed potatoes tonight, I make them homemade. I don't use the bags, what's in there. But I do use a lot of processed stuff still. I don't really look at ingredients, but I try to be mindful, but I guess I don't really read labels. I don't know. So no, I guess is the bottom line answer. I feel good. I feel a lot better since fasting. I think that has made a difference that I fast most of the day and then I eat, but don't read labels the rest. Susanna says, do you weigh yourself still? If yes, how often? I don't like not weigh myself as a principle. I vary so much day to day. Like today is the first day of my period. I don't want to know what I weigh today. If I weigh myself, it tends to be when I'm not on my period and after a down day because I just feel like I can get a consistent read on that. But I don't even know the last time I weighed myself, probably November. I just feel good. My clothes fit, and that's enough for me. Let's see. Lana says, yes, we're having icy weather in North Texas. Tomorrow will be my grandgirl's third day off. Oh, I thought you were going to say birthday. Okay. Because of it, and they're staying with me. But I'm getting to binge your YouTube channel and loving it. Oh, thank you. Just started if. Well, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you don't lose power like you did a few years ago. But little extra granny time, it sounds like. Cosmic Glow Up. Hello. Haven't heard from you in a while on here. She's down 62 pounds. Woohoo. Congrats. I'm excited for you. Oh, there's Colty in the sun again. Lou Ferguson says, did you ever worry about calories? Not really. I do on down days. I'm very, very much track the calories. But I don't track other than that. And one of the reasons is I just love the freedom of not dieting. So if I start tracking calories on a regular basis, it would just be overwhelming and steal a lot of my joy. So I don't for that reason. Another thing is, if you guys go back, this video was very, it made some people mad, but I did the 10,000 calorie challenge and I really did it to just kind of drive home a point of eating 10,000 calories was so hard to do. Like it was ridiculously hard. And even if there are days where you overeat, I never get anywhere close to 10,000 calories. And I don't have days where I feel like I overeat on an extreme basis regularly. So even when I have those days, it's not going to be like a 5 times your limit daily. And so I just don't worry about it because I don't like feeling bad. So when I have days where I overeat a little bit, tend to be on up days. I eat so much longer. I feel full by the end of it. It makes me not want to feel that way in the future. So I use that, my feeling. I think appetite correction is a big part of it. And when that happens, it trains me to not do it that way or that often. But bottom line, I don't count calories. Let's see. Tony says, thanks so much for answering my questions. Please share the creamy tomato soup recipe. I'd love to try it. I will say I'm definitely a foodie and starting to deem meals as fast worthy or not. That's awesome. That's how I am. I definitely don't have like a highbrow palate, but I love food. Like it makes me excited. My tomato soup recipe is actually, I did make a video long before I was a faster. I would share food, grocery hauls, different things. I was still trying to like figure out what I was going to share on YouTube, but I do have my tomato soup recipe on here. It's one of my videos. I actually think I shared it twice on accident. I don't know why, but it's out there. I make it in an Instant Pot and it's very delicious. Let's see here. Ginger says hello from North Carolina. Hi, Ginger. Jay says, I'm on day 3 of OMAD, making enchiladas tonight. Can't wait. Down 3 pounds already. Oh, that makes me so excited because I know the excitement of like, you have your eating window that you're really looking forward to. You're going to enjoy the meal. You're going to be satisfied and it's worth working to fully enjoy that meal. And then when you do that on repeat and you constantly have windows that you're looking forward to, it's pretty easy and it's exciting. Tonight on our menu, if you're on Instagram, you've probably seen me share earlier today. I put chicken and chicken broth with celery, onion, salt, pepper, and garlic. It's going all day. Then I'll pull it out, strain the broth, and make chicken and dumplings with it. So then I have this really pillowy dumpling recipe. It's very peppery. That's how we like it. I follow an old Cracker Barrel recipe. And then I mashed potatoes. I just got ready right before I just peeled all my potatoes, and I'll start them before I go pick up my kids, which, by the way, I'm going to have to leave here in a minute. So I'm really looking forward to, we're doing, I don't know what vegetable. I have to look at what we have. Probably corn. That's what corn's tomorrow. Green beans is tonight. Green beans, mashed potatoes, and then the chicken and dumpling. And I'm very excited about it. Whoopsie, I just shook my table. I'm sorry. But it's fun to look forward to having a meal you really like. Sherry Lakeside Designs, Sherry McDonough says, hi, Jackie. Thank you so much for inspiring me to try intermittent fasting. I started January 2nd. I've lost 6 pounds already. I absolutely love the flexibility and ability to eat anything. Yay! Congrats, Sherry. I love it. And I'm so glad that you're here on the live, and thanks for sharing that. That is awesome. And that is 1 month in, 6 pounds down. Not everyone gets that. So if you're reading that and you're discouraged, don't be, but I'm excited for you, Sherry. Let's see. KK Hooray, love your name, says, hey, Jackie, I started my 2nd month of OMAD. I'm clean fasting, but I'm not losing weight. Maybe my diet is really bad. I do think, unfortunately, some people might have to change their diet, and it's really hard to know that right off the bat. I don't know where you're starting. I don't know. There's a lot of, and this is where I don't have a lot of information and why I would never go into coaching, because I don't know it all. I know that. But in like Jen Stevens' book, she talks about there's sometimes a lot of internal work. Like if you are high insulin resistance, you might have to reverse a lot of things before your body starts tapping into fat. And there's a lot of work internally that might have to be done, or maybe cutting back on certain foods where you delay it, not just while you're fasting, but you delay it for a few months. You might see results. Personally, what I would do is I would just keep going, keep learning to fast. I know 1 month in feels like a long time. You're starting your 2nd month, but I really feel like a month, there could be a lot that's happening before the weight loss comes. So I would just keep going. I wouldn't really worry about it. And I know that it's easier to say that when I did lose the weight starting. So the first 4 weeks, I did lose 4 pounds. But I also felt so good and I wasn't gaining weight that I would keep going. So I don't know how long your OMAD is. I don't know exactly what you're eating. If you feel like your diet is really bad, maybe try shifting it a little bit. But personally, what I would do is just keep going what you're doing, keep building the muscle of fasting. And then once you're, if you're 5 months in and you're not seeing weight loss, see what feels good and where you can maybe make shifts. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. No one comment again. I'm going to try to get through all these before I have to leave. I have to go pick up my kids. David says, on my 51st day of fasting and 30 on OMAD in the UK. Congrats. Yay. I'm excited for you. And I hope you're feeling good. I'm guessing you are. And that's why you shared it. Rosalie says, hubby and I started your method today, February 1st, formally keto and fell off the wagon over the holidays. Have done intermittent fasting also. Going your way, and thank you. Yay. I hope you come back and report back results regularly and how you're feeling. Jody says, I keep falling off the fasting wagon. It's frustrating. I'm giving it a shot again this month. I see how it works. I think my downfall is I tend to want to eat everything and then break it. Advice. This is where I would 100% focus on fasting. Because I allowed myself everything in my eating window, I just got there, and some days were a crapshoot. Like, no joke. I would open my eating window and I eat everything, but I didn't do that long term. Don't feel like when you say you tend to want to eat everything and then break it, it sounds like maybe you are restricting yourself. Fast, have your eating window, enjoy your eating window, and when you allow yourself to enjoy the eating window, I'm not saying eat the dozen donuts. I'm saying don't feel like you're not allowed to eat foods you like. Enjoy the eating window and then fast again. And remember, hey, I have this eating window that I like. I'm going to get to that. Do that every day. Every day, just focus on having that eating window you like, that the sacrifice of fasting is worth it, and you're going to get in a rhythm that really works. I'm cheering for you, and let yourself enjoy the eating window. It'll help you get into a rhythm. Tammy says, I have a pretty cat. Yes, I do. Thank you. He is still here. Look at, this is him sitting in the sun on his pillow. He's a very big, pretty cat. I love Colty. I've been fasting. Pop Tart says, I've been fasting 8 months, never tracked macros, started a few days ago. It's stressful with you on that. I've lost 48 pounds. I think I did something good. Good for you. I don't remember. I probably asked you details. Oh, okay. You asked if I looked at food ingredients. But I'm happy for you. That's awesome. DG66 says, does your fasting window and feeding window have to equal 24 hours? No, I just made a video on this, but I often fast and my eating windows don't equal 24 hours. It doesn't have to. I made an entire video on this, and the thumbnail says 18 plus 3 does not equal 24. Go look for it, but it has information on it. Nana says, hi, Jackie. Just found your channel a couple weeks ago. I'm so inspired. Yay. Thank you. I am glad you're here, and I hope you stick around. I'm glad to have you. Laura says, I find doing OMAD extremely restrictive and have a hard time with it. I don't know why, but I'm always hungry. Maybe don't start with OMAD. That would be my suggestion, is start fasting with a longer eating window and decide how you want to go from there. But get used to the fasting at maybe 16 hours and then have an 8-hour eating window, and don't make yourself keep it open 8 hours. But if you have to, do that to adjust. And then if there are some days where you're like, 4 hours in, I'm actually very satisfied, I'll close my eating window. Just slowly learn the opening and closing of the window, but don't feel like you have to start with OMAD. If it feels extremely restrictive, I wouldn't be doing it. Lou says, black coffee has helped me get further into a fast. Definitely for me as well. Definitely. Darlene says, thanks for the chat. I hope you have a great day. I hope you do too. Thank you for being here. 13 face says, I feel weak and exhausted in the evenings. I would make sure that you're eating enough, that you are eating, that you're not over fasting. Those are the two things I would think of right away. And also, I'm curious where you are in your fasting window. You want to make sure you didn't, when I first started fasting, as soon as I ate, I felt like I needed to nap and go into some sort of hibernation. So I don't know where you're at. Sorry, I have to go, guys. I have to go pick up my kids, but I would make sure you're eating enough and you're not over fasting. Those are the first two things. And then adjustment might make you tired. Did I have 3 meals on my update? No, I only had 2, lunch and dinner. That's what I generally do. But sometimes I meet a friend for breakfast, and then I will do breakfast, a little lunch, and dinner. April says, hi, I did a 24-minute workout today for the first time in ages. Do you think 3 times a week is enough? I'm not an athlete. I do think that 3 times is enough. I don't work out like a fast or a workout routine to like see results. I do it because of like I walk is all I do. And then I sprinkle in like kettlebell or different things. But I do it more for mental sanity reasons. I like walking. But I think whatever you give yourself is enough. And if you feel like doing more, do more. I don't know. I'm not a fitness person, obviously. I'm trying to get pregnant, but I'd love to start fasting. Tried it a couple days and I love it so much. Do you think it's safe? I would think, yes, it's safe until you're pregnant, but I'm also not a medical person. So once you're pregnant, I would not fast and not while you're breastfeeding. But if you are doing it until you're pregnant, and then once you'll feel good. And then once you're at a safe point to do it again, you'll already have a little experience under your belt. KK says, thanks for answering. I feel a little disappointed because I have almost 100 pounds to lose. I'm considering incorporating keto. It definitely helped me lose weight doing keto. I did a trial for a month, but don't make it really hard as you're trying to fast if that makes it impossible in your eating window. It could help you to lose weight, and then you could eventually add the carbs back in. Definitely something to play with, or even doing keto like 2 days a week, low carb days. You could find foods that are really delicious, low carb. It might just give you, instead of doing like a down day and an up day, if you do 2 low carb days, and that's when you eat jalapeno peppers and that's all I could remember that I loved for keto. Having a couple low carb days could really help you. It doesn't have to be like you're keto or you're not. Remember that. Okay, thanks. Everyone is saying thank you. Inspirations. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. I really have to go. I keep saying that, but I'm going to go now, and I love chatting with you guys. There will be a new video Saturday. Don't forget to email me, Jackie@intermittentfastingfoodie.com, if you want to be on the podcast. And I will see you guys all. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.